It's strange how fast time flies when you're doing something that you love doing. How slow time moves when you dislike something that you don't want to do. Time moves so slowly, yet when you enjoy doing something, how time flies, how quickly these 9 nights have really passed on. And also teach us a wonderful principle that nothing in the world stays the same forever. Everything changes, everything transforms, everything becomes different. So we learn from Navarathri so many wonderful lessons. So today we're going to just go over what we dealt in the previous discourses so that we can just refresh the minds of our devotees and ourselves to the real meaning of the celebration of Navarathri. So on the first night we discussed the concept of the feminine energy and the feminine principle in Hinduism.
So the feminine energy in Hinduism, called Prakriti, as we mentioned, is that which, so let me rather start by saying the two concepts of Purusha and Prakriti. In Hindu thought, we have the idea of that which is fairly stable, that which is unchanging, given a male aspect or male connotation in Hindu thought, and that is called Purusha, that which is forever changing, and that which enlivens the consciousness of Purusha, which allows it to take on these various forms, is called Prakriti. Prakriti, that's why we call this Mother Nature, Mother Earth, because this feminine energy is what allows it, this consciousness of Purusha, to express itself in these various multitude of ways.
So we see also that when we look at this, you mentioned Mother Earth. For those religions that have believed and worship Mother Earth, they've done the least amount of damage to the earth, isn't it? When we look at the earth as a conquest, as something that we need to conquer, then we do a tremendous amount of harm to her. So this feminine energy is this energy that allows us to see the material world as it is. So these three states of the material nature called gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, is three qualities that when before creation was started, they were in perfect balance. So when creation begins, the Purusha upsets the balance of these three gunas and creation springs forth. Like how we're learning in science now, how different universes, they come, they go into a state of dormancy and they seem to spring up again. Our religion teaches us that there is a period called pralaya where everything is resting, and then from there, this creation starts. So what is sattva, rajas and tamas?
As you mentioned, a guna is a quality or characteristic, different state of existence. So these are the three gunas that we are familiar with in Hindu thought. Sattva, that which is absolutely pure. Rajas, which is very active or agitated. And tamas, which is absolutely dull, lethargic, inert.
So in this celebration of Navarathri, we see the first 3 days dedicated to tamasic qualities, that which is destroyed by Durga. The second 3 dedicated to Mother Lakshmi, which brings about passionate activity. And finally, the last 3 days by Saraswati, which brings up the knowledge, the sattvic knowledge, the pure knowledge that we need in order to attain victory on the 10th day. So, this celebration of Navarathri has been described as the pathway to victory. How so?
So, as you mentioned, starting with the worship of Mother Durga or Kali, representing the quality of tamas. This is when we are absolutely, as you said, inert, dull. It is coming into contact with the negative tendencies within ourselves. And that is what is represented by Mother Durga. And we cannot stay there. We want to be able to do better, to be better, to move forward. And that movement means action or activity. Rajas, represented by Mother Lakshmi, who Lakshmi means having an aim, a goal, an objective. That means working towards something. That means doing something. Rajasic activity is generally classified as neither good nor bad. With the guidance of Mother Lakshmi,
Non-directional activity.
Yes, non-directional, like a pendulum. Up and down doesn't matter, it's not actually adding any value. But using Mother Lakshmi as a source of inspiration, motivation, a goal, something to work towards, then activity of Rajas can be moved towards something which is actually beneficial.
One Swamiji gives this example that when your car cannot start, cannot move at all, that is tamasic. When your car can start but it is not going anywhere, it is just idling, also of very little use, but it at least better than not starting at all. Then when you drive your car and you move in the direction that you want it to go, that is considered sattvic, where you eventually want to land up. You have a destination. Like in Hinduism, our destination is moksha. Our destination is away from the cycle of rebirth and samsaram, that is called birth and rebirth. Getting out of that cycle, going into moksha is our final destination. Then we also spoke about looking at Navarathri as each day being dedicated to a different form of the energy of Shakti. Starting with one Shailaputri and ending with Siddharthi. Tell me about that.
So as we mentioned there, Navadurga, Nava meaning night and Durga, incarnations of forms, expressions of this divine goddess Durga. And it takes us on a journey, as we mentioned, starting with Shailaputri, the daughter of the mountain, representing this immovable nature we should have when we are dedicated towards something, the peaks we want to ascend to. Going through that brahmacharini, working towards that ultimate goal. Chandraganta, controlling our mind and filling it with auspiciousness like the well, Kushmanda, all-encompassing of the universe, and raising of our pranic Shakti or energy. Skandamata, that which gives birth to the power of controlling the mind. Katyayani and Kalaratri, both fierce, allowing us to fiercely remove the negative tendencies. Mahagauri, the complete fullness of peace, power, serenity. And finally Siddharthi, which is the ultimate perfection that we all want to achieve.
Then we also spoke about how these symbology of the murtis of each one of them, of Kali and of Lakshmi and Saraswati, are so different, and how they teach us that even in just looking at their murti, there is an elevation in consciousness. So Kali,
Mother Kali, as we mentioned, is standing firmly, one leg planted on the earth and one leg on Lord Shiva, who is lying absolutely still. As we mentioned earlier, Purusha is unchanging. Purusha is still. Purusha is firm. He is just there, that consciousness. Then we go to the evolution of the consciousness to Mother Lakshmi's Murti, where she is seated in a lotus flower, which has some movement, but it is quite affected by its surroundings. It is limited by the water, limited by its size, and it also shows us the evolution of consciousness to plant life. Finally, Mother Saraswati, who rides on this white swan, the evolution to animal life, the consciousness has evolved, and also we then see that we have to go one step higher than that in order to find that ultimate knowledge which will represented by Mother Saraswati herself, and that knowledge is what will allow our consciousness to be supremely developed and realized.
then we also discussed the concept of demons and the concept of what seemingly looks like violence against demons, and then this concept that gods represent our positive qualities, the demons represent our negative qualities, and the gods always are victorious over the negative qualities, and how this is shown so beautifully in some of the names of the demons that Mother Shakti destroys, as enunciated in the Devi Mahatmya. So, Madhu and Kaitava, craving and aversion.
Shreyas and prayas, that's what we, that which we like versus that which we don't like.
Dhumra Lochana,
The one with misty vision. So we need to have clarity of vision. We need to know what we want to see clearly, as well as all our other senses must be not affected by the illusion of the world around us.
This is so important. When you switch your lights off and it's dark, there's no confidence, isn't it? You're scared of bumping into things, you're scared of tramping onto things. So clarity of vision is of paramount importance.
Absolutely.
Then we saw the Rakta Bija. We discussed that, and very important in the worship of Mother Kali, how Rakta Bija explains the concept of the drinking of the blood.
And Rakta Bija, as we mentioned, Rakta meaning blood, Bija meaning seed, that in one drop of blood, in one negative quality, can be the seed for our entire destruction. And that is why Mother Kali drinks all of this blood, so that there is none left to be reborn, that we destroy all negativity in us completely.
Then there was Nishumba and Shumba. Shumba meaning doubting oneself, Nishumba doubting other people.
And doubt is completely contradictory to anyone on the spiritual path. If you start the spiritual path, one thing that is required is absolute faith. So when we have doubt either in ourselves or others, we have a lack of confidence. And with no confidence, we can't achieve anything.
Then finally there's Chanda and Munda that she destroyed. And Chanda is the argumentative personality, and Munda, one with no head.
So one with no thinking capacity. Doesn't mean literally no head, but one with no ability to really use the mind, analyze it with knowledge and move forward. So from those, what you must remember as we recap is, in Hindu thought, all demons or destroying of demons, it's not really the exact story that you need to be attached to. It is trying to find what is the symbology of it.
Also, I find many devout Hindus arguing about did this happen or didn't this happen. We should be only worried about what we can learn from it, isn't it? Because that is the essence of all these. In fact, Puranas, where all these stories are narrated, means that which is ancient, but its meaning is forever new. What we can learn from it is forever new. Today, our children can tell us, I don't believe that Ganesha's head was chopped off.
It's no problem.
It's not an issue because we have to learn from why his head was chopped off. So similarly like that, we spoke about the concept of what is celebrated. What is celebrated in all our festivals?
And we started by saying that celebration is a time of joy, of excitement, of exuberance. One time when everything is overflowing with positivity. And we celebrate the transformation of our very selves. Over this time of the festival, we transform our thinking, we transform our speech, we transform our action, we transform our very nature and experience of this world.
So finally, I'd like to leave or stop Navarathri with looking at the mystical nature of the swan. It is said the swan is one of those animals that can separate milk from a mixture of water and milk. It is symbolic of the discriminative, the ability of ours, the discerning ability of ours to look at what is moral, immoral, right and wrong, and above all, the ability to follow that. Now we mentioned this many times before, that in our scriptures like Mahabharata, Duryodhana knows what is right, but the problem with knowing what is right in the world is you need to have the courage, the conviction, the commitment, the determination, the devotion, the discipline to be able to carry it out. So knowing something is right and you don't have these other qualities to make it happen, that will not be achieved. So similarly, in this entire celebration of Navaratri, it says transformation is possible, but transformation requires action. Consistent action. Action that is directional, action that is purposeful, action that has a goal in mind. So it is my prayer and my wish, and I'm sure I share the sentiments of all of us at Pretoria Bhajan Mandal, when we wish all of our devotees celebrating Navaratri, that the kind of peace, joy, discrimination, integrity, harmony, all the qualities that make us truly human will come to every single devotee in abundance. And really, my prayer this Navaratri is that this COVID-19 epidemic will go away sooner rather than later, and we once again can truly engage with our devotees in a manner where we see them at first hand and feel their energy, because we thoroughly enjoy bringing this to you, but it can never compare with having all of you in our temple and in our hearts. My prayer is that all of you will be blessed by Mother Durga with the kindest of values and virtues that keep you always happy, irrespective of the circumstances that you find yourself in. Om Shakti!
Parashakti.
Om Shakti!
Parashakti.
Om Shakti!